Back home now, and new data shows petrol retailers have been ripping off drivers as the Christmas and school holidays approach. The difference between the wholesale price and the national average cost of unleaded fuel has blown out to 24.7 cents a litre just in the past week. According to CommSec, the profit margin is the highest it's been since monitoring began in 2004. And joining me live now to discuss this story is Peter Khoury from the NRMA. Peter, thanks for your time this morning.
Morning.
Well, petrol retailers ripping us off ahead of the holidays. This isn't really in keeping with the Christmas spirit, is it?
Well, look, what we've seen here now is the price cycles in the major capitals have all hit the high point. And we obviously knew that was going to happen. What we've also seen is the oil companies use that opportunity to increase the profit margin at the high point of the cycle, knowing two things. First of all, the cycle has been a very long cycle and prices fell below where we expected them to. And also, this is the last high point they're going to have before Christmas. So what we should see, despite these current increases, is that prices now will start to fall. They should fall right through Christmas and the New Year. And we will certainly be watching very closely at the NRMA to make sure that happens, because if we see sudden price increases between now and Christmas, that is simply not on.
So when exactly are we likely to see those prices start to fall?
They should start to fall now. I mean, most of the capitals have already hit as high as they're going to get. Sydney got to $1.43, Brisbane got to $1.48. Brisbane's profit margin, by the way, was significantly higher than any of the other capitals, and so we should already now start to see those falls occur. They will fall slowly, but they will fall right through the Christmas period.
And why do those increases vary across the country? Why was Brisbane so much higher?
Well, the increases occurred in those cities where they do have price cycles. We knew that the prices were going to go up. What we, I guess, weren't expecting was that the profit margins would go up as high as they did. But when you look at that cycle from its start to its end, the average profit margin was about 10.5 cents a litre. The cycle before that, it was about 10.5 cents a litre. So, yes, they did take an opportunity at the high point of the cycle to jack up their profits, but we are now expecting those prices and the profit margins to fall and fall consistently for at least the next few weeks.
And just explain why these price cycles happen. Is it just pure greed on behalf of the retailers, or are they preempting lifts in oil prices and those sorts of cycles?
There's no answer. We have no answer to that question, and we haven't for years. Australia is the only country on earth that has these cycles, especially the volatile nature of them. There is no other country where you see prices fluctuate the way you do. Most of the capital cities have inconsistent price cycles, so you can have one cycle that's 50 days long, you can have another cycle that's 30 days long. Perth is the only place that has a 7-day price cycle, which means it's a lot easier to know when to fill up in Perth. So we don't know why we have these cycles in Australia. We certainly don't know of any other country that has it. All we know is that we have to do what we can to give people information so that they can fill up at the bottom of the cycle and not at the top of the cycle.
And what is your advice to motorists in the meantime who don't want to get ripped off this holiday season?
Please shop around. Sydney today is the perfect example why the gap between the highest service station in Sydney and the lowest service station in Sydney for regular unleaded is over 50 cents a litre. We have never seen a gap like that before. That is a huge gap in prices. We want people filling up at $1.11 in Sydney, which is the cheapest today, not at $1.60. The way to fill up in New South Wales now is just to access the real-time data that's available to the public, which is the price of every service station in the state. It's available through the NRMA app or a government website. Outside of New South Wales, it's a lot harder to find those prices because they don't have real-time data, although they should. So for people outside of New South Wales, go to your local motoring club website. There's information there about when and where to find a bargain. But if you can wait till the end of the cycle, that's great, but that's not going to happen for a few weeks. So in the meantime, shop around because you can save a lot of money.
Okay, shop around and hopefully those prices will start to come down soon. Thank you so much, Peter Khoury, for your time.
Anytime.